subscribe. Tariq Radio. Like and subscribe.
And thank you for joining us on Fox 9 and Fox Local. I'm Kelsey Carlson. Our top story tonight, Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara apologizing to a man who was shot while trimming a tree. The suspect is the next-door neighbor who has not yet been arrested. Fox 9's Leon Purvis spoke with the victim moments after he was released from the hospital, and he joins us live from our newsroom with more. So, Leon, how is this victim doing?
Kelsey, right now the victim is trying to piece together why his neighbor hasn't been arrested for shooting him. Police say they're trying to do it safely because police consider the neighbor, John Zolchak, armed and dangerous. The chief said what happened to the victim shouldn't have happened.
He tried to kill me, and if it weren't for a few inches, I would have been dead.
This is the moment Davis Moteri says his neighbor, John Zolchak, shot him while he was trimming a tree. Moteri just got out of the hospital Sunday. He can't go home and recover because Zolchak is still in his home right now.
Essentially, I'm homeless until the cops decide to go and somehow capture John.
Zolchak has been civilly committed in the past. Court documents show Zolchak has an extreme risk protection order. It shows he threatened to kill a neighbor multiple times, made threats to shoot his sister, and slashed an off-duty police officer's tire. The threats and acts of violence date back to 2016. Currently, Zolchak faces second-degree attempted murder, assault, and harassment charges after investigators say he shot Moteri.
In this particular instance, we failed this victim 100% because that should not have happened to him.
Sunday, Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara apologized for his officers' response to the situation.
The Minneapolis police somehow did not act urgently enough to prevent that individual from being shot.
Moteri's wife, Caroline, has been back to their home 2 times with a police escort. She tells us a lieutenant asked her to be patient with the police department.
I said, patience is what has gotten my husband shot. We've been patient for over a year.
Chief O'Hara is letting everyone know they're working on arresting Zolchak.
I'm sure most of the residents there know we have been there 24/7 the last few days. We have been trying to get this person into custody safely.
Chief O'Hara also said they used their behavioral threat assessment team, a psychiatrist, and talked to Zolchak's family. He says that hasn't worked. He mentioned they're running out of options before they have to escalate them. He believes it will ultimately come to that. Live in the newsroom, Leon Purvis, Fox 9.
They keep telling us about a Trump win is going to bring back stop and frisk, and the police won't do nothing, and whoop-de-whoop. They keep using these scare tactics, but we're living under these scare tactics now. Family, did y'all hear about the story out there in Minnesota, in Minneapolis, out there in Tim Walt's neighborhood? Tim Waltz, who's running for vice president out right in his backyard, there was a situation, family, where a white supremacist suspect, he's been terrorizing his black neighbor. And I think the neighbor is a black immigrant. He's an immigrant. His last name sounds like an immigrant name. But this black immigrant neighbor is married to a white woman. He has a white wife. So this white neighbor has just been terrorizing this neighbor, just calling him all types of names, complaining and assaulting him. I think he assaulted him a couple of times already. The black neighbor, the black guy, has filed just over a dozen police reports against the guy. Police won't do anything. Police will not do anything. I think the black man has been, like, for a year trying to get something done about the harassment from this guy, the suspected white supremacist, just nonstop harassment. He got assaulted, told the police didn't do anything. So the black man was out trimming hedges in his yard. The suspected white supremacist just opened the window, pulled out a gun, and shot the brother in the neck. Luckily, the brother, he survived. He survived, but they still didn't want to arrest the white supremacist suspect. The police out there in Minneapolis, Tim Walsh's country, that's in Tim Walsh's country, they didn't want to arrest this guy. They were making all man, do y'all know the excuses they had for not arresting this guy? They just arrested him, I think yesterday or today. I think yesterday. And that was because of public pressure. But the excuses they were using to not arrest this dude, they were like, well, he might have guns in there. So, we don't want to have no shoot off or nothing. Well, we're investigating. We had called him and he's not answering his phone. We sent him emails. He never responded back. I mean, they're literally saying this about a guy who basically did an attempted murder. They're sitting up here making all types of excuses for this guy. I mean, one of the police chiefs came out, a police representative. He was like, "Well, we're not going to go to his house with guns blazing. We're not going to do that." Like, wow. So they finally arrested the guy. And this is right under the Democrats' noses. So they're not going to sit here and play this fear mongering about no Trump, and they ain't doing nothing to protect us, to protect black people. They're not doing anything. They're on code with these white supremacist suspects. You understand? They are big time on code with them. And speaking of on code, how law enforcement stays on code with these white supremacist suspects up there in upstate New York. Where my New Yorkers? If you're from New York, raise your hand, people. Where my New Yorkers? If you're in New York, raise your hand. Up there in upstate New York, in Elmira, New York, Elmira or Elvira, one of them. There was a white dude named I think Robert Fisher. It was a horrible crime, man. God, this is such a horrible crime. Horrible ass crime. He was babysitting some little 3-year-old black girl. I don't know if he was dating the mother. He was dating the mother? Okay, there's my wife talking. He what? Yeah, okay, yeah. From what I understand, it might have been some chick bed wenching. It might have been some fool ass broad bed wenching. But she let this dude, this white man, suspected white supremacist, babysit her 3-year-old daughter. And this dude sat up here and gave this baby some prescription drugs, drugged this baby, and sexually assaulted this baby and killed her. And man, that just broke my heart. I got a daughter who's almost 3. Well, she's 2, about to be 2.5. But man, that really rubbed me the wrong way. And you just got your baby around this dude. So they gave the guy 20 years to life. And he went up there in jail. He was in there for a month and he ended up dead. He wound up dead. And what's interesting, he went up there to the prison and he got dead. And the police and law enforcement and the prison, they're not saying how he died. They're not saying what exactly happened. Now we know what happened, family. We know. We know what happened. Shout out to them brothers up there. The brothers up there produced some damn justice. Shout out to the upstate New York brothers. I'm giving you all of the Majora energy and spiritual love and essence that I can muster up. Shout out to the upstate New York brothers. The upstate New York brothers handled that, but they're not saying anything. The cops and law enforcement, they're getting on code and not saying anything. They know how that guy, they know he got hemmed up there. They know they jammed his little ass up as they should. They know they jammed him up. But you know what? They don't want to put that out there because see, they don't want to give us ideas. They don't want us to send the message that yeah, black folks needs to be out here producing justice. So that's why they're trying to be real low key about it. Because remember, that's how Jeffrey Dahmer, somebody had to produce justice with Jeffrey Dahmer's ass. They sat here and let Jeffrey Dahmer um, slaughter people and eat people for decades and didn't do anything. And they knew Jeffrey Dahmer was bad news. Law enforcement knew about Jeffrey Dahmer, just like again up there in Minnesota. They knew law enforcement. They know this guy's terrorizing of this black man and his white wife, but they're all on code with him. Yeah, the people in law enforcement get on this little sick code. So with this guy assaulting that baby and killing that baby like that, They were still on code with the guy. And then the brothers had to put in some work up there. They don't want to say what really went down, but we know what went down. Shout out to them brothers up there. Yeah. Let's get Sajal. I think that's your name. Sajal. Miss Sajal, hop on. Miss Sajal. Unmute your microphone, ma'am. All right, Miss Sajal ain't saying nothing. So let's get JFK in the building. And family, don't add yourself to the speaking queue if you're not ready to speak. Let's get JFK. Are you ready to speak, sir? JFK, are you ready to speak?
Yes, sir. How are we doing tonight? I thank you for the invite. Want to bring a little love and spirit up in here, so thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Where are you calling from, by the way?
I live in the great state of Kentucky.
There you go. Love Kentucky. I love it. So what's on your mind?
Well, it's just the in and outs of everything. I don't know if the world's coming to an end, and that's why I seen you up in here, and it looked like you got a big crowd, 1K. So I just want to come up in here and see if I can get the news, the truth of the news and what's going on in the world.
Oh, yeah.
So if you can help me out, brother, I'd help. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, that's what we're doing. We're trying to give truth to power up here as much as we can. But thank you so much, man. Just listen in and we'll chop it up. Sajal, are you ready to get on, ma'am? Sajal? Because you keep making gestures, ma'am. Mr. Jaw, you got 10 seconds. I'm going to block you. I'm going to block you and you won't be able to listen. So you want to get on? You must be some dude over there in Pakistan using a catfish account, trying to get some cash app. So Jaw, we're not doing that. We're not doing the cash app scam. So I'm going to block you. You're really an East Indian man. All right. So we're not going to play that game. Let's go. Let's get HB in the building. HB. We get HB in the building. What's up, brother HB? How are you, sir?
Come up, man. You had me on mute, man. I couldn't unmute myself. It said muted by host.
Yeah, it does that sometimes. Sometimes it does that automatically. But what's going on, brother?
Hey, have you heard of this YouTube channel called Jubilee, the Middle Ground?
Yeah, I have. I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you to go up on there, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Tariq Nasheed versus 24 Tethers or 24 white supremacists.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah, I saw some with Shapiro on there. So that's an interesting site. Xbox, what's up, brother?
Hey, what's up, Tariq? How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm not doing too bad. How you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. What's on your mind?
Well, I'm just interested I just dropped in here. The line was, "Are racist jokes at the mega rally a game changer for the election?" Um, you know, what do you think about that? Well, because I kind of dropped in here a little bit late. You
Yeah,
know,
I touched on it earlier, so you can check out the playback on my YouTube channel to hear my opinion on it. The Black Vanguard. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's up, Tariq? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Hey, how you seen that clip going viral? How you have a bunch of Nigerians bowing down to a big back hearing? How you seen that?
Yeah, Lord, yeah, man. Yeah, that was on like one of them. Thank you, brother. One of them wife swap shows. You know how they swap families, and it was some Southern white lady, some kind of a Karen looking lady. She looks like the prototypical Karen, some Southern white lady. And it was a Nigerian family that was going to be swapped. So the Nigerian family came in, dropping down to the ground, bowing. And like, oh God. She's like, what is this? What y'all doing? I don't bow down to nobody. What are y'all doing? She was even shocked with that bowing. Because look, with an FBA culture, that's something that we don't do at all. We do not defer to them in the dominant society. And then you know what's interesting? You had a bunch of people who are from Africa saying, well, they're from the Yorubas, they're Yoruba, and that's a part of Yoruba culture. They're bowing down to an elder. No, y'all FBAs don't understand. That's how they bow down to all the elders. They bow down to everybody. That's just the way they greet people. And that's cap. No, first of all, that white woman ain't nobody's elder. She ain't no elder. White woman probably in her 30s or something. She ain't no elder. You know, even though a lot of them look older. She ain't no elder. Number two, I don't ever see these Yorubas bow down to no FBA elders. You notice that? I don't ever see them running up bowing down to no FBAs at all. So I don't believe that. It's white people. Yeah, you bow down to the white people. So that's all cap. But yeah, that was a bad look. But we don't do that. Where's FBAs? We ain't doing all that bowing down to people.
Rude work, feel that natural flow. Rude work, stay fresh wherever you go. Rude work, I like the way it feels. Rude work, the magic is so real. Rude work, you need it for work or play. Rude work keeps me fresh throughout the day.